A mother has been arrested after allegedly breastfeeding her baby in a bar. Now, this woman was arrested at an Indianapolis bar early on Friday after she was seen breastfeeding her 7-month-old daughter while drinking beer and offering to have sex with people who would go inside and buy her more beer. Now, this is a picture of Shari Treba, who is 42 and is facing a felony charge for neglect of a dependent, along with a misdemeanor charge for public intoxication.
She's in big trouble.
Yeah, you take that, Shari.
All right, now court documents show that the child was taken into state custody. She was examined at a nearby hospital where luckily she was found to have no signs of intoxication or other physical signs of neglect or abuse. There are some other witness testimonies, I guess, of this scenario. Apparently, she chained the stroller to like a post outside of the bar. The father of the child was also there, who was also very intoxicated.
Family night.
Well, okay, so I think let's delve into this because I think we can hear this story and we think of this mom breastfeeding a baby at a bar, and it's like, oh, haha, like it's a funny image. But the fact that this woman is like neglecting her daughter, potentially intoxicating a 7-month-old baby, being this intoxicated while in charge of a child is really, really sad. And I think there's a chance, obviously, if this is happening in the middle of the night at a bar with her, baby daddy, that they might have an issue, and that she thinks it's okay to strap her stroller to a post outside, and that's really sad. I mean, alcoholism is one of the leading killers in our country, and it's so devastating that these people are potentially dealing with this and struggling with it, but also that they're subjecting a newborn child to it.
Well, if you're gonna be a downer about it.
Sorry.
She was over twice the legal limit. Like,
yeah.
Dude, like if you have people who have babies, I know some friends of mine are breastfeeding and they're like, they know that if you wanna have any kind of alcohol, once you're done breastfeeding, you have 1 glass of wine, and then you have to wait for like hours.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 4 hours.
That's crazy. I mean, A, wow, I didn't really know that at all beforehand. And B, you're technically like buying alcohol for a minor. You're like it's the same as like getting a baby drunk. But the thing is, like, this had to have happened throughout history before we knew that you could infuse your breast milk with alcohol, right? Like this has happened for years. And and another thing is like another friend of mine was drunk and she said, she was pregnant. And she says you do more damage to the baby during the early months of pregnancy while drinking than you do during the later months when everything's kind of built. Now, you shouldn't do it at all, but if we're gonna say you do more damage versus less damage, the thing is, like, there are pregnant women out there who aren't showing and are drinking and are doing way more damage, but get no one to call them out for it. And then there's super pregnant women who are like, this is my 1 glass a week, and everyone at the restaurant's like, how dare you?
Yes, I mean, presumably for some of the women who aren't showing, maybe they don't know, and that is a risk that is scary for women who maybe aren't trying and don't know that they are pregnant and could be affecting the baby like that. But like you said, Brett, like this could have happened in history. I mean, that's why we saw, so many cases, however many years ago of like fetal alcohol syndrome and like different effects, and we don't know how for women who are breastfeeding how that may have affected their, brain development or their IQ or other developmental aspects, right? Because we just there's no way to really look at that. But clearly this is a case where we know that she is breastfeeding at the same time she's drinking. You know that this could really potentially harm the baby. Thank God nothing happened to the baby. The baby had no signs of intoxication, but a really scary scenario. Well, she doesn't have custody of her child anymore, which is horrendous too, that this child now has to go through foster care and things like that. But
so look, 1, I'm gonna bring back the fun part of the story. 2, I'm gonna be a little contrarian here. First of all, this couple should be spokespeople for the alcohol industry. Because 1, she's like, I will have sex with you if you just buy me 1 beer. Okay, that is amazing. Number 2.
That's so sad, James.
It is. That's why it's fun to think about.
And have that dependency.
But nonetheless.
It is sad. It is both sad It is both sad and entertaining.
Slightly amusing. Okay, and then my favorite part of the story is when the husband got him up. Like, I thought that the husband wasn't there, or that he didn't exist, right? And then she's like, all right, I'll have sex with any of you to get back in the bar. And then the husband shows up. It's like, all right, anybody take anybody at all, any takers. So I don't know what's going on in their relationship, but it's funky and it's interesting. But now, in all seriousness, I do have a little bit of a defense. Really, we're gonna lock her up for having a beer while breastfeeding? Because I think we'd have to lock up a lot of people. So it's potentially dangerous, and I don't want you to do it, and I don't want you to get the wrong idea. But taking away the baby and locking her up is pretty draconian.
Yes.
And I would have, hold on. I just want to complete the thought. I wouldn't have been in favor of it at all. I think it would have been too far, except that she chained the stroller and went back inside and left the baby alone out there. So then, okay, then you're endangering the child.
Hey, at least she chained the stroller, you know? That's thinking it through.
I am with you. I don't think we should lock her up. I do think that, I mean, she was struggling to produce identification and respond to the officer's question. She was so intoxicated. I think what should happen is that she gets help. Like, I don't know necessarily she needs to go to jail, but I think she needs to get help. And maybe once she gets to a place in recovery or whatever, then she can gain custody back. But she's not in a position right now where she should have custody of a child.
Right, or at least in the meantime, let's figure out some more facts about this lovely lady who is offering sex for a beer while breastfeeding her baby drunk. Like, that's the thing, it's the number of terrible choices she was making at once. That if she was just at the bar, well, first of all, I think, and it's sad because I'm saying, hey, don't be so stupid. If you're gonna have a beer and breastfeed, do it at home. So not everybody's looking at you.
Don't do that.
And that's terrible, but like, that's smarter. It's not great, but that proves that someone is at least a little smarter than someone who goes out to the bar and is like baby on a boob, hand on a cold one, sipping, feeding the baby, switching off, and going in. And like that's like where the police show up and go like, wait, this is all happening at the same time? Come with us, we're gonna put your baby over here, we're gonna put you over here, ask you some questions.
So to be fair to them, Brad, they were, and this is true, at a work conference.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They can hold down a job. That's mitigating circumstances.
Okay, so they're like, okay, we're at an accounting conference, so let's obviously take our baby to the bar and see what happens. And here's what happened, by the way. She had a 0.193 alcohol level. That is really, really high. And I have to confess that when I first read the story, Hannah, I didn't think that, like, it didn't occur to me that she was an alcoholic. As you laid it out, I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Like, now we don't know for sure, right?
Right.
But there are a lot of circumstantial evidence there. And I think we can all-
You have a problem if you, regardless of whether you're an alcoholic or not, you have some sort of dependency or some sort of problem with your relationship with alcohol if you are doing all of the aforementioned acts.
Yeah, and she was also charged with public intoxication, a charge that I actually hate. I think that it is only used when drunk people are a pain in the ass to cops. Because what do you mean? There's a billion people who are publicly intoxicated.
That's
right?
That's
not a title. Yeah, that's not a thing, right? It's the cops will only use that when they're annoyed at you.
Yeah, you could. There's disturbing the peace, which I get. It's still used ambiguously a lot, but at least when you say you're disturbing the peace, we are here to protect and serve. Come with us. But like public intoxication is just like, wow, that guy sounds hilarious. That person sounds like fun. I want to hang out with someone who's publicly intoxicated.
So, I'm not buying that either. And they arrested the dad because he was also a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
He was like really protesting loudly that they shouldn't be arresting his wife. So they're like, okay, that's it, you're under arrest too. So a lot of this is flimsy charges. But the one thing that we all agree on is, let's investigate how to help these folks, because that investigation needs to happen. Because if this happened, I don't know what else is happening at home. And you got to help make sure the baby's safe and make sure that this couple gets some help that they need. We're not the Young Turks, you're the Young Turks. You power this show. Together we built something amazing. We've broken stories like the Donna Brazile story the mainstream media wouldn't break. We built the studio, we built this network. It's now #1, all thanks to you guys. Let's come build it even bigger and stronger. TYTnetwork.com/join.